Welcome back to ACL Melbourne. Thanks again to our sponsors, Plantronics and BenQ. My name, of course, Slappy Baggins, or Max, as Dale's probably going to be calling me. And, of course, as I just said, Dale here on my left, although you're right. A bit confusing right now. Dale, this is an exciting game. WobblyBears versus Team Immunity. Team Immunity, obviously, probably the top pick for taking this tournament, but WobblyBears, so much ELO in that team.
Oh, gosh, we have 4 challenges on that team. I believe more than Immunity have. So
yeah,
these guys are obviously, they have the individual skill to take Immunity down. It's just going to be about, do they have the strategy?
That is true. And do they have the team comp to do it as well? I mean, we can see on our screens, you guys, of course, cannot at this point because it's our lovely faces looking at you right now. But I'm incredibly excited for this game, mostly because, I mean, the Lulu pick was picked up really early. And as we saw Heavens play, he played Lulu in the mid lane and just built her so incredibly strongly. But it was switched out for an Ahri, and they've got Rosie playing Lulu in support. So a little bit of mind games going on right now.
Yeah, well, it was exactly what they did last time. So we do know that Heavens is an avid Zyra and Lulu mid player. Mm-hmm. They picked the both of them, and then they swapped last second. You never know, right?
Absolutely.
But we look over here, Perfection on Nasus. And I've seen Perfection play quite a few times. I've known him for quite a while.
As you've said.
Mid-Nasus is something that he likes to do. He loves to sit in his lane and farm his siphoning strike till the number gets a little bit higher than you can count so quickly. And then he just runs everywhere and one-shots lots and lots of people.
Actually, I went against that exact thing in a ranked 5s comp with, and I was a Kali and I killed him heaps and heaps of times, and then he was unstoppable and killed our whole team. There was nothing I could do. So I'm interested to see what Heavens is going to do about it, because Ahri seems to me to have, you know, the poke potential to get him out of lane pretty early on. As we know, Nasus is pretty vulnerable early, so we'll just have to see whether he gets a lot of help by SA, of course. And Maddie on Rumble. Yeah,
well, I'd actually worry that Nasus and Zac, even though they have nice sustained damage, I don't think they could have any dual potential against Jarvan and Ahri. I'm starting to wonder, maybe we might see some pressure on that Nasus, trying to get him down as quickly as possible.
Yeah, it would make sense. And going against a Jarvan without flash as well, in a mid lane, that's pretty scary.
Very, very scary. That Ghost is a very, very greedy pick. Unless, of course, we could see some crazy lane swaps and end up with a Rumble mid.
Hey, that's true, you know, and Maddie's one of those Rumble players that he doesn't really mind where he plays it. Very, very strong on that champion. Swiper, where do you put the Rumble versus Renekton matchup? I put that in Renekton's hands in the very early game, but will Rumble be able to outtrade towards the later stages?
I think you're exactly right here on this one. I think Renekton has it probably all the way up to level 7 or 8, depending on how well Rumble does. And, of course, Rumble takes it back because Rumble is great with levels. Rumble needs levels. Doesn't need items, needs levels.
Yeah,
as far as anyone else is concerned. So the early phase is a little bit dangerous. That's why I'm kind of wondering, will we see Zac go up top lane, or we see him go mid to help support Nasus through that early?
And, of course, we don't know where anyone else is going anyway.
Yeah, again, it could be some crazy lane swaps. We'll have to see through the level 1. But I anticipate that Zac has got his work cut out for him, trying to get Rumble and Nasus through those early levels.
Yeah, true. And we haven't touched on bot lane. I'm really scared of the Zyra Graves burst potential at level 6. That is going to be ridiculous. With the lockdown from the Stranglethorns and the Grasping Roots into the QR combo from Graves, that's a lot of damage and a lot of CC.
Yeah, but on the other hand, however, Radiant and Rosie have picked something that's very safe. You got Ezreal has the ability to get away through all those, because, again, Claire and Stars, even though they have high burst potential in Zyra Graves, they're all technically skill shots. So a good Arcane Shift, well-timed Arcane Shift, will get them out of there. And just in case, Rosie has the Wild Growth to save them.
That is very true. You could see probably it'd be the Lulu pickup at level 6 and then force the 2v1 situation for Radio and force him out of lane, possibly getting Graves ahead in that way. Could be a way to do it, but you're right. There is just a lot of disengage potential coming out from that Lulu Ezreal. So we'll just have to see. I actually put it in the hands of Immunity at the champ select stage, but we'll just have to see how these lanes shape up.
Yeah, you're exactly right there on that one. I think, of course, again, the thing that we're going to be looking for is how well Zac handles the pressure from both Jarvan and the fact that their lane matchups probably aren't the best for the early levels. I think the bottom lane is something that's going to come in fruition a little bit later. Depends on how these guys play. Again, it all depends on how these guys play it. But I'm worried about this mid lane, especially a Doran's Blade start on
Doran's Blade Ahri. That would be a Heavens thing to do, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's typical Heavens there on that one. He loves his poke damage right at the beginning from those auto attacks.
That's true. I wouldn't be surprised if he built a Spirit of the Elder Lizard into that Blade of the Ruined King on Ari as well.
I think if we see that, we'll have to question life as we know it.
That's very, very true. Changing the meta. You know, you saw it here first in ACL Pro LoL. But as we can see, you know, they're both grouping up in the top side. You know, Zyra a little bit late to the party. Stars there, but this is a favorite ward spot here for Immunity, or for a lot of teams here, just under the red buff on the red side. So we just have to see they are skirting around though. So Immunity playing it a little bit sneaky at this point, though.
Yeah, these volatiles level one fights are always a little bit scary to do what you need to do. However, Immunity has all the poke potential, whether it comes to the standard, the glitter lance, or the mystic shot from Ezreal to scout these bushes.
And the charm for that CC, which is so powerful in the those level 1 fights.
I'm wondering if the WobblyBears has exactly what they need. This is going to be scary.
Grasping Roots is available as well from Stars. This is huge. Goes on to 4 people. SE's jumping in. So much damage going down across the board, but it's split a little bit. SE's taking a bunch of hurt here. Will he get popped by the passive? No, Claire's... They've turned around onto the 3 that have been secluded, and it seems to be some sort of weird pincer move, but no one's actually going down. Charm lands onto Maddie. Little Lance as well, and the Ignite coming down, but no one's going to die.
Gosh, that was scary.
That was so scary.
So many flashes. We look over in Immunity. The only one left with the flash is Swiper.
Yeah, Heaven's keeping his Ignite too, so he will have that kill potential in lane, but that being said, there's only a flash and Ignite burnt from Maddie.
Yeah, I was starting to wonder perhaps if Essie should have committed a little bit more, especially with his passive, the ability to save him. It's very difficult to DPS down through those blobs, especially right at the beginning when you got people focusing you. It's so volatile. But I don't know. Better safe than sorry, right? Because that was a very close fight.
Absolutely, and Perfection's really getting the best out of that level 1 trade because it happened so late. Heavens didn't have a chance to go back to buy and to heal up before needing to go to lane, otherwise he'd miss out on creep. So this is pretty huge for that Nasus mid wanting to try and get the best of it in the early game.
Yeah, well, Perfection has the flask and the potion, which is definitely going to sustain him through no matter what kind of harass he's throwing out, whereas the Doran's Blade isn't going to quite keep it up. However, Ari does have a spell vamp passive, throws out some abilities, does have the capability of topping herself back up, but definitely not early on. The cooldowns definitely aren't low enough to get through that.
Yeah, absolutely. And Alicia getting taken down fairly low by that blue buff, opting, using all of his potions so far because of that level 1, so may decide to go back, but no, looks to be heading into that top lane. So
it's exactly right.
Interesting.
Something to note, Essie had to go back. He had lots of help from Stars there to make sure that he got his first buff on time, but he was forced to recall. And look at this. Alicia is just looking to scout through because he knows how low Essie was.
Oh, and Radier and Rosie going so aggressive here in the bot lane. Stars is 1 auto attack from Dead, and Radier will pick that up. Radier getting the first blood, immediately followed by Heavens, getting a kill on Perfections in the mid lane. This could not have gone better.
Oh, look, Ping's coming down as well on Essie. This poor bloke might get invaded as well. He's still level 1. Unfortunately, Stars did leak some experience from that first buff.
Oh, no.
I don't know if Essie can even
And the ward control coming out of Immunity into their jungle. We've said this time and again when Immunity plays that they are so good at vision control. It is ridiculous. Essie just still sitting on top of a ward. This is really, really dangerous.
This poor bloke. Unfortunately, Perfection. Oh, this is actual fortunate. Heavens did go back. Perfection has the ability to come over and help him. It's a little bit worrying that he has an Alicia finally recalls. He's kind of had enough of sitting around.
Oh, but then he walks straight back into another ward. It is about to run out as well, but they've just got Essie's number here in the jungle. And Alicia has cancelled that back as well.
These mind games galore over here.
I know, he's actually deciding to go for it.
This is dangerous.
This is scary. And they don't have any vision though. You know, WobblyBears just don't have the vision to stop this as well. And Smite is now back up.
Oh, he ended up getting it. How unfortunate. Essie is disheartened. Unfortunately, Alicia definitely can't go for a top gank after that one. He's way too low. But both junglers. Pretty shaky starts, but Essie is definitely behind after this.
Yeah, absolutely. With 3 buffs on Alicia and only 1 onto Essie, you can't fault that as being in Alicia's favor at this point. And especially now, we look at this bot lane. I mean, Graves is behind by 9 CS, which is a pretty big deal, especially when he's down a level as well. And as Graves, who wants to be that lane bully, who wants to be pushing all the time, it's really, really scary for Claire now in the bot lane.
Well, I'd like to note that Ezreal already has his tier. Radier got that immediately after that kill. I mean, after the nerf, Tyr is really difficult to stack. You gotta get that mana move as quickly as possible to make sure those auto attacks are proccing away. Oh, Maddie, you're getting overreaching a little bit too far here. Swiper definitely has the advantage in a fight here.
coming in. SA for the gank though. Swiper getting immediately ignited, but Flash comes out over that wall, and that's a difficult Flash, Dale. I've seen a lot of people fail that one.
Oh,
Ignite going down onto Rosie. Oh, wow. Only just survives. Claire thinking that he can 2v1 at this point. Feeling pretty strong, but I don't think this is a right idea. Mystic Shot only just missing.
Oh, God. We got the gank coming here around the back of the tower. This is only a matter of time until Claire's feeling the pain.
Oh, man. This is really, really mean.
Just biding their time, waiting for these minions to come in. I don't know. Claire, unfortunately, using his buckshot to only half clear a wave.
And there's a big wave coming as well. Look. Because
Patience.
of the face tanking there. And the charm actually landing on a Claire. They couldn't be bothered waiting. And the Ignite goes down the Foxfire as well. Barrier being popped, but it's too little too late at this point. And here's, wow, Star's going to have to just run straight back, even though he just came back to lane.
This is a
the flash
start.
charm from Heavens as well. So aggressive. Foxfire as well. And hitting everything. Heavens, what a ridiculous play. That is not something that you see normally coming out of an Ahri. That aggressive.
Immunity are playing their game right here. They love to be aggressive right at the beginning.
Absolutely.
And it shows that the Doran's Blade, Doran's Ring Ahri build is exceptional.
Yeah. You just need a ring and a sword. That's what I've heard.
They're trying to put some damage down in this mid tower, trying to salvage something. They just don't have it.
Yeah, true. Although, you can argue that, Nasus now has a 6 CS lead, but 2-0-1 on that Ahri versus 1-0-1, definitely going to be in Ahri's favor, especially now that she's picked up those Salt Boots. So you're going to have that mobility in the lane. And
yep, I expect to see even more ramming. Maddie finally hit level 6. So lane can only get easier for poor Maddie up the top there. He's being bullied quite a bit, as you can see the CS difference again. Also has that arm guard. So hopefully Maddie can kind of be the saving grace a little bit here on top of Perfection getting some more fun.
That is very true. And, as we've said, these guys, these are very good players on WobblyBears. It seems that they've made some bad decisions at this point, but we'll have to see what they do to try and claw their way back in, because a 4-0 deficit with this kind of a gold leader is looking to me like about 3.5 or something like that at the moment, and it's just a massive lead for 8 minutes into the game.
Some harass being traded around there. Maddie actually coming up not too bad for what Swiper would seem to be doing to him. However, the blue buff is up for WobblyBears, and it's being invaded immediately. Yeah, there is a massive contingency of immunity coming down to the bot lane. Overheat happens on Maddie, and he's in a lot of pain here. The Dominus is available from Swiper, and he could possibly just dive this. Yeah, some diving up in the top lane, and then we've got some invading down near bottom.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, there's the Dominus. The flash comes out. Equalizer completely whiffed. He's probably hoping that we didn't have the camera on him for that particular moment.
Unfortunately, the world saw that one.
We missed who took the blue buff. Is there going to be there's a blue buff on Alicia, and there's not one on Heavens. So Wither comes out onto Heavens though here, and Perfection wanting to do something. That's Spirit Rush does come out though, and wow, that was so much damage. The ult at exactly the right time by Perfection, but it's not going to be enough. Essie's, yeah, that passive's going to be blown. Claire's here to actually protect, so Essie might survive this, but that was still a trade in the favor. Oh, there it is. Wow.
Poor blood.
That Orb of Deception, man, doing so much damage to all those Bobbles at once. Nothing he can do.
All I could hear was screams of Claire, please.
Yeah, pretty much. Where's team?
Oh, no.
So when Claire getting knocked up under the tower, Alicia's not scared at all. The charm finally misses from Heavens, and that was a fantastic, fantastic true shot barrage there by Radiant. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Claire not managing to get the follow-up kill on Alicia. Looked close, but no CR at this point.
Yeah, we got another Dragon attempt right here. I believe that they'll be able to take this one.
That's true. Even though it is warded, there is not a lot of presence here.
Teleport's down. Zara is only just reviving, and Claire is definitely occupied mid.
Yeah, and Maddie is still away in the top lane, so this is going to be a Dragon definitely for immunity. A little bit too easy, they didn't even need to think about pinking it.
Trying to make it a little bit bittersweet here. WobblyBears going for that blue buff. This is very dangerous though, Max.
Keeping it away from Heavens will be a good idea, but Swiper is now here to clean up, and that blue buff is still really healthy. The smite finally does come down, but no, they're going to be able to get out of here. I wasn't expecting that, to be perfectly honest. I was waiting for the Spirit Rush over the wall, although it's actually on cooldown, so...
Swiper tried his hardest. Perhaps they just decided that giving out was the safer option there.
Yeah,
they didn't want to trade a kill when they're already this far ahead.
Yeah, that's
Especially
true.
not a one-for-one situation. Blue buff isn't worth that to them. They're quite happy where they are sitting now.
Matty did like the fact that Swiper did go down to try and change that. I mean, he is only down to 10 CS at the moment. Charm does land, and so does the Flag Drag onto Stars. He is a very dead, very squishy Zara at the moment, and that is not what you want. You don't want your support to be able to go down that instantly, although that was a fantastic array of skill shots landing.
Yeah, so we got Perfection kind of trading farm with Radio down the bottom. Arguable. I mean, a full blue build Ezreal, or a very quick blue build Ezreal, is very difficult to deal with. I'm wondering if the farm on Nasus is going to make it worth it. So I'm trading up here in the top lane. I don't think Matty's going to die just yet. Swiper is looking for it, though. Not quite.
Yeah, the Electro Harpoons, they're really helping him as far as staying alive in that lane. Swiper is just farming so well with that Q, though.
More pings coming out. Perfection is just trying to find as much farm as he possibly can. 81 CS is no
Spirit Fire going down onto Claire in the mid lane. He's at full health, Heavens, and Claire is just taking so much damage. Smoke Bomb will come out and will deter Heavens from actually going any further, so not too bad. Gets an ultimate for his trouble, and he's going to survive that. Will need to back though, so they're going to get a lot of pressure down here on the mid-inner turret.
God, these just trades up here on top lane, they just seem so pointless. Everyone just keeps coming out with the same amount of health, and these guys are trying so hard. However, SE is coming for the support. I don't think that's the right plan though, because this mid tower is
going to go down, and SE isn't there to support it. This is really, really dangerous. And there's just not enough power on WobblyBears to stop this kind of four-man push down the mid. Swiper going really aggressive, popping the Dominus on Matty Intel, and now he's actually going to pop down the Ignite as well. The Equalizer comes out, but it's just in the wrong spot. He just hasn't really been able to hit those.
Yeah, unfortunate. And SE's also in a lot of trouble here as Immunity go to flank the tower. I wonder if they can get him.
Yeah, this is really, really scary for SE here in the top lane, and he's not going to be very happy right now. He's popped the Let's Bounce back at his inner tower, so he's going to be okay, but he's just not having a good game. Stars just dodging the charm there, but I'm not sure whether it was even a dodge. He may have just been wandering around.
Look at this though, Max. Stars is level 4.
Oh my goodness.
Not even half Swiper's level.
This is terrifying.
This is getting very strenuous at the moment. These guys need their levels, they need their items. And unfortunately, Immunity are just pushing all the right points at the moment.
With it down onto Heavens, and that Q is now starting to do a whole bunch of damage from Perfection, but I just don't think he can pin that RE down, you know? That being said, you know, look, 99 CS to 80, so still managing to get that farm, and if they take this thing into the ultra late game, there is the potential of this Nasus just not being able to die.
Yeah, the potential is definitely there, especially with a build like his. He is going all out on those tank items. Not looking for damage
coming in just to clear the creeps down in bot lane. Pretty useful for an
Smart
Ezreal
play.
just to stop the creeps from building up in places you don't want it, so you can be at any point in the map. But this is now an 8k gold lead, and 9-0 and 4-0 in turrets. There's just advantages everywhere for Immunity, and it's just looking to be Immunity's game.
Yeah, a blue buff poached here. You could argue as well that WobblyBears aren't too worried about their blue buffs. I mean, it's nice on a Nasus. It brings out the clear, and it's also nice on a Graves. But I mean, Zac and Rumble have no use for that kind of stuff. They really don't. I mean, the cooldown's nice, but it's just a luxury for them, so they're not too worried about that blue buff being stolen. However, Heavens is quite happy to hold it.
Yeah, that's true. It gives a lot of blue buff potential. He could almost walk around the map constantly with a blue buff if they have control of both of them, which is really dangerous because Ahri, on the other hand, could really use that blue buff.
That's exactly it. Some more farming. Perfection trying to find as much farm as he possibly can. Roaming bottom, I'm worried because Immunity kind of looking to grip in.
He does have that teleport available though. He can come in with that if he needs to, so the split push option is definitely there for him, but it's a dangerous position to be in, especially with that Jarvan on the map and no flash to get out of the Cataclysm.
Oh, Swipe is getting a little bit feisty with his positioning here.
Oh, Essie's only level 6 though, against a level 11 Renekton.
Very scary stuff.
Has to smite away his big golem, and it's just not a fun thing to watch. Just Zac being this far behind.
Yeah, it's getting to this painful stages here. Look at that. Stars throwing down an entire combo. Not
level
even doing
5 against level 11. As you said, that goal difference just huge. And the Ignite coming down, that's almost enough to kill him from half health at this point, considering the scaling with level.
Yeah, Immunity still pushing more and more advantages that they seem to be collecting. I expect to see a Baron soon.
Yeah, absolutely. And not that they really need to. They could just push down the base at this point, it looks to me. Like, it's very, very... just the whole map belongs to Immunity at this point.
Yeah, that's definitely it. And they even have the oracles to secure even more map control. Pushing through. Swiper, just showing just how unafraid these guys are. They are grouped, however, now. They are definitely grouped, so they Immunity can't get in here immediately anymore.
Oh, Maddie taking... Look at all of that poke damage, though, coming out of the team of Immunity. It just... Maddie almost forced it back right now. Star's taking so much damage from just an incidental spell coming out, and Perfection's getting wrecked. Like, they cannot stand up to this siege for very much longer.
Well, these guys need to go back to the fountain as soon as possible before these waves crash yet again. Top themselves up, because I don't think sticking around here with about half HP, especially on Maddie, is going to do it.
No, absolutely not. And the charm and Orb of Succession coming out of Ari and not quite picking up anyone, but the potential's there for a pick-off, and that's what's really scary. And we've been seeing Ari a lot in a lot of competitive play. Wow, that was really, really close. But her poke potential and her pick potential is so huge.
Get some more pushing out. Now Rosie being very smart about what he's doing here. Pushing in that mid lane, trying to get all those minions under turret, giving Immunity even more options than they already have.
And you know, Lulu known for a gigantic wave clear as a support champion as well, Dale. That was definitely sarcasm, everyone, if you're playing at home. Probably not the best one to be split pushing, but it's okay. They think they've caught Perfections, but he'll just wander away. He's got a lot of magic resist at the moment. Yeah,
he's not someone that they can burst down. I mean, WobblyBears have quite the front line. It's just unfortunate that they just have no levels to support that.
That's true, and the Buckshot is doing a lot of work actually clearing the wave, and Maddie as well on that Rumble is able to stave off this push a little bit, but it seems to me like a matter of time.
That's exactly it. Some pings are coming out on the red, the dragon.
On everything. Let's just pick up the entire map, says Immunity, while we can. Because they know that they just have complete control right now, and Rosie's been really, really good with the top side wards here. And they've even got a ward inside the base, so they know that they're not moving at the moment.
Well, look at this, though. Perfection's showing that he's really not that afraid of Immunity just yet. He knows just how tanky he is. He knows just how much wave clear he has. He knows that he's got the ability to get away from a couple of situations. But these guys don't have this warded.
He also knows that this is on his back to try and get them back into this game as well. He knows that he has to be that Nasus monster that we know from Season 1. You know, the gigantic thing that can't be killed. Well,
this just goes to show that Immunity, they can't Baron just yet, because WobblyBears aren't afraid to jump in, to show that the Baron, oh my God, as we see Zach miss the jump over the wall, unfortunately. Caught that one as well. Pressure's getting to these boys.
No, we didn't see that, we didn't see that. What failed jump?
Yeah, what failed jump indeed. But no, look at this. Oh, Perfection. Look out,
That's not where you want to back, bro.
It's not it at all.
And here's another completely uncontested dragon for Team Immunity. And
some looking very grim. Well. Look at these top and bottom lane. Radier and Heavens is just going to clear this up and bring this lead even further out.
Yeah, that's true. And they're probably going to focus on this bottom inner turret as well. It will leave the Baron open, but they're not going to be able to kill it in time for them not to lose their entire base, pretty much.
Yeah, I'm starting to worry. Perhaps Immunity might look to bring these waves out a little bit further and then perhaps look at a Baron.
That's true. But when they've got this sort of map pressure, they can take this bot turret for free, which is the objective that they want to take before risking the Baron, even though they're so far ahead. Which I think is probably the calculated smart play, even though not necessarily one they really need to worry about at this point, considering they're so far ahead.
Yes. So we got whole lanes coming out here. This is actually a possible opportunity for WobblyBears. I mean, Immunity is splitting up their forces. They're looking to push multiple lanes at once because they're not quite getting the traction that they need to get into these towers. Yeah, so this is an interesting choice, and I'm wondering how WobblyBears are going to handle this.
It is going to be a 5v4 situation, and if they can clear up this wave and bring it to another wave having to crash on this tower, they will have a 5v4, but Evans is pushing really hard in this top lane.
Yeah, that Doran's Blade doing some work on those towers.
Oh yeah, it's all the Doran's Blade.
Definitely the Doran's Blade here on this one. Yeah, look, WobblyBears have opted to just go for a defense again, giving up some more objectives, and I'm wondering if that's the right decision.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think that they need to really make the risky plays at this point. They're so far behind that they need to make the plays. They need to make the risky maneuvers that can really try and get them back into this game. It doesn't really matter. They're going to lose this game if they play passively. It's just what's going to happen. And we've got, wow, that Cataclysm was fantastic, straight on top, and Stars just gets eliminated. Essie now trying to do some work getting rid of Swiper, and Rosie's sitting on the inside of the base. Not exactly where you want to be, but they've got so much control that it doesn't even really matter at this point. So that was an easy free kill on Stars. Stars worth absolutely nothing at this point. Perfection's doing so much damage to Heavens, though. Getting that Q, that Q doing a quarter of Heaven's health every time. So he has managed to stack that one up. Maddie, on the other hand, taking a bunch of damage, and this inhibitor is getting wailed on here in the bot lane. So while they're wasting time in the top, Immunity's going to take the objectives that they want towards the bottom side of the map. And with a 13k gold lead, they don't really care. They'll do whatever the heck they want.
WobblyBears, they really need to mix it up. They really need to go for these mad picks. And unfortunately, Ari isn't the way to do it. Just way too much mobility there.
Yeah, she can just get out of anything.
If they keep playing like this, it's just going to be an eventuality. This game will go to Immunity.
Yeah, that is so very true. And they've got the bot inhibitor as well, which is basically the Baron inhibitor. They get that down, and they're going to need to have someone stopping those super creeps, and they're going to have to be so far away from Baron in order to do that. So.
But hey, look, Max. Stars has a sight stone on him.
Hey, that's true.
Perfection has a teleport. So this isn't a decider for the Baron just yet. Immunity might not be convinced. It's very likely that they might go for it, but they're not fully convinced it's the best idea just yet.
Stars manages to get the ward in, and then Nasus is sent bottom lane to clear the super creeps. I mean, I could see that working out, but 11-0, 7 turrets to 0, inhibited down. I have a feeling that the Baron fight would probably go in Immunity's way, regardless of how, even the matchup is.
Yeah, as well, Twin Shadows there on Rosie means that potential getaways, even if they don't quite make it to the Baron in time, means Immunity are going to pick up a kill or two.
Oh, that's true as well. And I mean, we were talking about the pick potential of Team Immunity's comp right now, and that Twin Shadows will make it even easier to catch those targets out.
Exactly it. Perfection. Kind of overstepping a little bit, but not being punished for it. Not too bad. Claire taking some mad poke.
Wow, and then the Spirit Fire over the wall, and Claire managing to barrier, but the flash into the Spirit Fire from Heavens, knowing that he can do the extra damage to pick up Claire. That showed amazing. Wow, and the snipe from Radiant. That was a little bit cheeky. The Arcane Shift Mystic Shot combo. And
yep.
That 0-7-0 Zara is having a terrible time this game.
Unfortunate. Snucky's Mystic Shot right through the back line there. Picked him off. Very unfortunate. Twin Shadows are coming out.
The Equalizer coming down, not actually hitting anyone, and the Wild Growth coming down on top of Perfection's... sorry, the Ultimate coming down on Perfection. The Wild Growth onto Swiper. Swiper is gigantic right now with the Dominus, and Radier is just doing so much damage. Triple kill coming down for him right now, and 8-0-2 Radier with a gigantic CS lead. This game is going to go to Immunity, and this has been just a ridiculous stomp right now.
That's it. It's only 23 minutes in, and Immunity are picking up for the win. Looks like they didn't need Baron after all.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. I was just talking about Baron this entire time. Stars going down on the fountain. Heavens just being a little bit rude, but Radiant decided to pick up that kill, saying, look, that's mine. I want the 9-0-2.
Yeah, look at that. After all that, Stars was the carry that game.
Oh, absolutely.
The only kill.
The only kill on the whole team on
WobblyBears, unfortunately.
The 1-8 Zara definitely carrying for his team, but I have to say I feel really bad for WobblyBears in this particular matchup. That was a pretty disgusting game. Well, and Immunity just showing why they're the #1 in Australia right now.
They tried something. They tried the Nasus mid. They tried to snowball in a little bit, but like we predicted, the early pressure shut him down a little bit too much, especially with the Doran's Blade start. Maybe Perfection didn't spot it, didn't think it was coming, but it was enough to kind of pressure him enough in lane that Alicia came through, swiped it through. Alicia's been playing really well this tournament. He's ganking at all the right times, picking up all the right kills. And he's snowballing those mids just the way he needs to, and then they're following it straight into bottom lane.
Yeah.
Perhaps a lot of these teams need to pick up this is Immunity strategy, and maybe they need to adapt.
Yeah, that's really true. And look, another thing you can think about as well is the Nasus, he didn't necessarily get shut down. He's got 179 farm. He's only lost to Radier in that case. And it's only by 10 CS as well. It wasn't the Nasus, it was every other lane getting completely demolished. And that bot lane was just schooled. After that 4-man gank there on the bot lane, it was pretty much all over for WobblyBears.
Yeah, unfortunately, Stars getting picked off here a lot.
Oh, yeah.
But great play by Immunity, taking that one out against WobblyBears. Yeah. Some would consider the dark horses, but showing their true strength yet again. Immunity are looking fantastic.
They're looking really, really strong, and they're looking like they were at PAX, a massively dominating force. I'm sorry, that's probably still a little bit raw.
Too soon.
Yeah, too soon. Sorry about that. But anyway, we'll be back for our next game really soon. Guys, stick around. This is going to be an amazing tournament, and we're hoping to get through the group stage, and it's just going to be the best. So stay tuned. Thanks very much.